Good morning. Monday, 31st of July, almost August already, and this is the last day of our first month of the Bricklink Store being in business, which is quite a landmark, really. We start the week with 57,841, just over 5,000 lots, well, 5,100 nearly lots, put in a whole heap of those Stormtrooper minifigures over the weekend, which really did bump up a lot of items in there. Over the weekend we have had 4 orders, which I'll show you through in a bit. One of them is actually a set, that top one. It's the Thai prototype set, which I'll need to go and get from the storage unit, which is great to get some of that moving. YouTube went nicely, getting over the 200 and beyond, so 224. And the videos kind of holding their own, which is really nice actually. But still, the old Ahsoka Tano's T6 shuttle, just not a popular one for people to watch, which is really odd. No idea why. And I'm just going to go, this is my favourite, right? Because you do get some kind of people that want to have a pop at you. And I did call Luke Skywalker Skywater at one point when I was waffling on in the review, because hey, we all make mistakes. And I've always got Cad Bane mixed up with Kane Bad. I don't know why. It's just a thing that I do. But Lone Wolf took particular offence to that, which is a real shame. But he did have to get quite a long way through the video to do that. And whilst he's absolutely correct about the Red 5 helmet not being a droid, I think everyone knows what I meant in terms of they were all kind of closed helmets rather than a hat that somebody wore, and then they went and made the Dark Trooper. But anyway, whatever. If you've watched the video, I think you get the gist of it. But hey, Lone Wolf, it's good for you to pick up on my bad pronunciation of things, and when you figure out how to use grammar and English properly, it will be so much better, as opposed to so many mispronounced names. But there you go. There's always some smart ass on the internet. So here's the orders. So this one is a whole load of minifigures and a few tiles, mainly battle droids, the Indiana Jones figures, which I only listed last week in those part outs, and a couple of Star Wars things. So a good little set of minifigures. That's the Thai prototype, which I need to go and get from the lockup. This one is for Bill over in Melbourne, I think he is, who was hunting down some dark pink tiles. I couldn't actually find the 1x4, so we've kind of come to an agreement on the 2x1 or the 1x2s, and he's building the a flamingo from the Lego Masters thing for BV24 next year. And then the 4th order is 2 of the Ahsoka figures, so someone getting in before those start skyrocketing in value, which is all good. So get these packed up, need to go and get that one from the storage unit, which is all good, and then get these sent out. Interestingly enough, this one and this one are both small letter packages, so that addition to the postage has kind of delivered sales, if you like, straight away, which is good to know. But it does mean I'm going to have to keep a mind on stamps, because that's the only way you can actually do it, it seems, by having old school stamps and sticking them on stuff. So 2 for that. The Thai prototype's obviously a boxed set, and that one's needs some protection for all those little minifigures as they go out. But good orders, happy with that for the weekend. Also over the weekend, some DIY action was had, in that I'm going to put some shelves up here to try and help with getting stuff off of my desk and some storage, because everything's under my desk at the moment. This I've been cleaning as well. This second bigger drawer unit is filling up fast as well. I've got a smaller one as well in the lockup, so got to think about that. And then over here we now have another shelving unit, which I think will allow me to have some overflow. I am going to share this with my wife because she also works in this office from time to time. So some good shelving to go in there, which has moved an awful lot of stuff off of my desk. As you can see, it's nice and tidy at the moment. So once that's all, once the shelves are up there, kind of get stuff in there and then have a bit more area for parting out and working and things like that, which is obviously important. So the post's all away, got the set from the storage unit, got that packed up and it's gone. Came back to this little Bricklink order that I've ordered. I'm not sure why there's just one of these. I thought I was ordering more of them, so I need to go back and check what I ordered. Those were to replace ones that have sold from the store. They've sold like them 3 times or something like that so far. And these little bad boys are the orange trans-neon orange lightsaber 4L bars or whatever they're called. I've got a whole bunch of these coming, but this seller only had 3 of them in stock. Not the easiest thing to find, but my thinking was ahead of the Ahsoka series coming out at the end of next month or the end of August, which is tomorrow. Everyone's going to want to change their lightsabers once that shuttle and stuff comes out from the clear ones that they've got to the orange ones. And I think actually it may have been suggested as a comment on one of the posts as well. So yeah, well in with that. So I've gone with that, and I'll wait till the others arrive before I actually list them. And I think these were just, again, kind of plates that were replacing plates that had already sold in the store. So that's good. Next up is I'm going to do a little build video and review of this one. I was trying to decide between the spider droid thing with the Bo-Katan minifigure, which is a good minifigure, but the build looks repetitive and dull, if you ask me, from the box. But these little starfighters are usually quick and easy and quite fun to do. So I'm going to give that a little go and record it for the channel, just to have something midweek this week to put up after the video's gone out. You know, the blog one's already gone out, so on with that. It's Tuesday afternoon, I think it's just turned afternoon, and no orders overnight, which kind of seems to be the pattern. You kind of get 1 or 2 and then you get a day where none come. I didn't upload anything yesterday, so I'm convinced that you get more sales the more often you upload bits and pieces. Maybe that's to do with the Bricklink notification feature or what, not sure. Over on YouTube, climbing nicely to 234 and some lovely comments from people. A big shout out to Kato, and Execute Order 60 Bricks has got to be the best name so far. There's a few other people. There's a Mike Productions who's made a few comments. Thanks for that. And Andrew Chipman had an interesting question about a particular Lego set, which I've answered on the latest video as well. But it's gone well, kind of ticking along. It's nice. It's building steadily. Got to be happy with that. Facebook's even got like 3 followers, but as one of the comments kind of says, whether it's actually a very good way to build a following or not is debatable, and maybe Instagram is a better way to do that. Certainly I kind of see a lot of things on TikTok as well, but I just don't think I've got the time to commit a lot over there whilst we're trying to build the store and keep busy on that front. So just park that one for now and come back to it. The shelves are all up and done now, so nothing on them apart from the Brick Wars figures and a couple of brickheads. But yeah, which is a podcast, isn't it? Or is it a YouTube channel? Can't remember. Anyway, so today got a bit of work to do, but this set is now indexed on Bricklink along with the El Dorado Castle remake as well, but it's such a big one. I'm just trying to do these littler ones to clear out the spare room, the idea is to have that pretty much clear of sets by the weekend. Not all parted out, but just moved out. I want to see if this piece has been added into Bricklink now. Obviously the modified brick with the little clip at the front is in there already, but I couldn't find it with the hollow stud at the top. So I'm going to go back and have another look to see whether that has been added now. I still have my little bucket of random parts that need to be indexed if I can be bothered. And we're waiting for Mace Window's batteries to arrive, but they have been dispatched via Amazon now. And then I've got these two poly bags that have been kicking around in various drawers for a while now. So those two are prime for getting parted out. These VIP ones have some interesting different parts, add a bit more variety into the store, which would be good. And then beyond that, I've really been trying to do some wheeling dealing on Facebook Marketplace to try and get some different kind of sets. So some Harry Potter, some Disney stuff, and some Ninjago type things, because I think that might help add a bit more variety into the store and see if we can push it along for the weekend in terms of getting over the 60,000 parts into that. It's not a lot to achieve, but I do have a lot to do, and then I'm travelling to New Zealand over the weekend, so a fair bit to try and crack into this week, given that Friday I'll be pretty much out of action. So waiting for some Bricklink parks to arrive as well. Australia Post app says they're arriving, but I'm just going to actually sit down and do some figuring out of the first month accounts, given that it's August the 1st. So I'll come back in a bit once I've pulled those kind of figures together. This could be a bit of a love-hate section. Certainly kind of the kind of blogs and people I follow very, very rarely talk about the business side of things and how it's going and whether or not they make money, lose money, and how much they spend on it all. So in full disclosure, I figured what the hell, kind of everyone's on this kind of journey, if you like, although that's quite an overused phrase, with me. There's no science to it. Some things I've lost money on, some things I've made money on, and it's not really a true reflection because this really only accounts for things spent and made in July, where there was an awful lot of things that went on prior to July, like buying sets that were on eBay and things like that. So it's not really a true reflection of the first month. August will be a much better reflection because I'm not really doing much eBay action from here on. And I suppose I could go back and try and do June and maybe some prior months, but it's an awful lot of work to try and do that. So this is how it's gone, which, you know, as I say, it's kind of skewed by things that were spent in June or prior to that, certainly years prior to that, on some of the sets that I sold on eBay. So it'll be interesting to see where we end up in August, where it's a much more realistic reflection of income and outgoings. So in terms of packaging, so boxes, envelopes, things like that, we spent about $190 odd on that stuff, and obviously that cost is already sunk, so it's not all spent in a month. I do need to order some more plastic bags for minifigures and things like that, but the August cost for that should be fairly minimal. Storage cost there is really those drawer sets that I bought 3 of. Did I buy 3? 3 of those. I have bought a little kind of storage box that I'm going to use for some accessories and stuff like that this month already. Well, I bought it. Did I buy it yesterday? No, I bought it. I bought it yesterday. So that's not accounted for in here. So I'll account it for in August. Office supplies with things like printing labels, paper, things like that. Bit of a random mix in there. Postage costs, that's how much I've spent out on postage with Australia Post for either eBay or Bricklink. Most of that, apart from the stamps, is through the My Business thing. So my guy at the post office says I should apply for an account so that I have one accounting line for postage costs rather than several dozens as it is at the moment. eBay spending and fees is almost 480. There is a set in that was like 174, which actually was a refund as well, so kind of that counters itself out, but I kept those numbers all together. I spent quite a bit on Facebook Marketplace purchases, but obviously I got a fair amount of Lego out of that because of the deals. I think my lesson learned this first month is buying built sets secondhand, not in the boxes, is A, time consuming, and B, you don't really make that money back. Certainly those auctions that I bought April, May, whenever it was, I lost money on those, kind of, definitely. Maybe not the TIE Fighter one, but the other ones probably counter that out. So I think it's boxed from here on in terms of inventory. Lego store and retail purchases, that isn't all for the store. Some of that is kind of the new Star Wars stuff that goes into my personal collection. So it's in there because I've spent it. Bricklink, I've spent a fair bit on parts and things like that. Some of that was inventory, some of that was for sets that I was selling, and the purchase of the store is included in that as well. So obviously that's a bit of a line item, which, you know, we worked out a good deal in terms of getting a 3x return on that in terms of what the current average 6 month value was. So that should be a fairly decent return. In terms of incoming from eBay, like I say, most of it, probably 95% of that, was sets I already had, as opposed to sets that I bought cheap and then relisted. And indeed, some of those kind of there, and Facebook Marketplace, some of those sets I bought cheap, listed, and they didn't sell, so they're still sitting either in the store or in the storage unit waiting to be relisted when there's a free listing day. But that accounted for a fair old chunk, but pretty closely followed by actual sales from Bricklink, which, to be honest, I was amazed at that total number, and that does include the price of shipping as well. So kind of, you know, you've got to factor in at least $10 per thing. Hang on, postman's at the door. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Postman delivering those Bricklink parcels that I was speaking about. Typical. As soon as you start, everyone arrives at once. So yeah, Bricklink sales account for postage as well. So if you consider that it's at least kind of like, you know, $10 per sale, and there's probably like, I think it's 46 orders or something like that. So you're probably looking at nearer like the $2,000 sales on Bricklink, which, like I said, like I'm astounded and delighted with that. If I can keep that up and kind of make a bit more money out of the things that are already in the store and the things purchased already, then everything will be good. And then there's some miscellaneous expenses at the bottom of there, which is me actually finding some more plastic cups, which took an absolute eternity because of the legislation around single-use plastics. But the net result of that is that the monthly total based on this, which, as I keep telling you, is a bit of a misnomer, means that it's a $545 really dollar profit, which hopefully we can carry over and make something of a profit into August. But not a bad first start. I'm pretty happy with that. It's certainly much better than I thought. I felt like I'd spent and not really sold an awful lot, but the proof is in the pudding there. And I think next month's marketplace purchases probably will be less than that, but probably way more than retail and Lego store. eBay purchases probably will be minimal, to be honest. Kind of, you know, the value there isn't really there. Marketplace seems to be a much better place to get good deals, but equally eBay sales will be pretty low unless there's a free listing day where I can bang a load of those sets that are in the Bricklink store up. But equally, we shall see. So yeah, there's a bit of an overview of month one's finances. Like I say, I think some people might find this quite polarising to be quite so transparent about it, but I think it's probably important for people to get a feel of no one's making $1 million here. It really is kind of like making it up as I go along and seeing how it goes really, and trying to figure out ways to make it, one, more efficient, and two, more profitable as I go along. So here's to August, and we'll do the same kind of at the beginning of September and see where we're tracking. Bricklink orders unpacked. First one up is a whole load of modified slopes, are they? Kind of these, all three of these orders are things that I've bought for the store, so I wanted to get a stock of these because they kind of sell the odd one, but I know when I've been rebuilding things, I've always been short of them, so they were way below the actual pick a brick, yeah, Lego price online. So I grabbed a bunch of those, black and dark blue grey, the trans neon orange 4L bars for my Grand Ahsoka TV series plan, some black cones because I don't have any of those in that order. This order is really just basic parts, so some inverted slopes in white, some of those kind of, I'm not sure what you call them, the modified bricks that have kind of got a wiggle in them, some hinge bits, some light blue grey ones, some white things, some black ones, and some other bricks and pieces, and some more slopes and some dishes. Yeah, just things that have sold out, especially these light blue grey, light bluish grey dishes. Kind of got cleared out twice of those so far, so just getting a little bundle of those back in, just in case, really. And again, they were way under the Lego retail price of those. Although I did read online that you're not allowed to buy bricks from Lego to then sell them on Bricklink, which seems odd to me, given that that's the whole purpose of Bricklink. You could buy it retail and then sell it on Bricklink, but not direct from them. Seems a little bit odd, but anyway, some more plates and bricks, and a handful more of the trans neon things, and then some white parts to replenish white parts that went out of the store, following my hunch that Hoth builds are popular. So a good little bundle of things to go into the store, which is great. I'll add that to the ones that came in yesterday, or the little one that came in yesterday, and these. That is my intention of getting those uploaded even today, once I've got the day job stuff out of the way. So I'll report back when we've got some revised numbers. So Tuesday kicked off this afternoon when I decided I'd do a video on the new Lego Star Wars set leaks that came courtesy of Promo Bricks. So that video, which is just like my other kind of ones where it's all just images, stills, definitely not me facing the camera and talking, has just finished exporting. So I'm going to get that uploaded, and then I've been sorting out the spare room, moving things. Now I've got the shelves, moving things, and I came across this bag of parts in a box, which is stuff that I had bought on Bricklink previously. So 99% of this, that's the pain in the backside bit, is brand new parts that I bought from Bricklink. There's some older used parts in here, but majority of this is brand new stuff. I seem to have this problem at a point where Bricklink was giving me doubling up. It was giving me new parts and used parts for the same part. So I ended up with used parts going on the sets that I was selling and keeping the new parts because I was going to use them for future endeavours. So at some point I'm going to have to go through this bag, because there's like one of those tiles for the TIE bomber. All these yellow plates were from a Y-wing, Anakin's Y-wing. Yeah, so there's a heap of stuff in here. Sorry if that's a bit loud. There's plates from the Venator. I've got a Venator that's complete and ready to be built. Some of those big dishes, I think they might have been from something or other. There's a part there that's got some stickers on it. Not sure where that's from. But yeah, so there's a whole heap of bits and pieces in there which I'm going to need to sort out, which is probably a good little mix of stuff, which is pretty decent. But what that has meant is that whilst we've got this cupboard which has got the drawers in it, the two cupboards above that now are now packed out. That's the boxed up X-Wing. They're now chock-a-block and they go pretty deep. You know, there's a big storage box in there that goes all the way back. They're all packed out with sets for parting out. So it's good to have them out of the spare room. Before long, people will be staying in that spare room, so it needs to look more like a spare room. So that's good. Another job well done. It's Wednesday morning, and there was 3 orders in overnight. The first of which is all black plates and a decent bunch, clearing me out of these big boys. So that's good. Second one is all sand green, so somebody building something interesting out of that. Just small parts, but nice, kind of easy picking, that one. And then the big one and the third one is actually from someone that left a message on the order that they've been watching the channel. So thank you, Dave, for your order. He's building the gift with purchase hideout, which are the kind of the green and the blue parts over there, I guess. And the 2 bricks Fondor Hallcraft thing, which I actually bought the instructions and the stuff to build that as well. I just haven't gotten around to it. So yeah, she's an incredible design, and I kind of got inspired when the Andor series was on, so that's cool. But interestingly, and I don't know, kind of quite sure how this works yet, as Dave's gone through that, he's been able to ship it as a large letter. Now, as you can see, it is way bigger than the dimensions of a large letter, and given that it can only be 2 centimeters thick, a large letter, I'm not sure how Bricklink, when you set that up, how you make sure it ticks over into the next category. So I'm going to have to do some investigation on that. So, I mean, that stuff is too big, I think, to go in one of my small boxes. I don't think it would go in one of those smaller boxes, but maybe it would. But actually, the price of sending one of those boxes or the next size up is actually the same. So, which is why I kind of didn't have that large letter to begin with. So I'll see if it can go in one of those. Luckily, all the plates do fit in one of those. And get it all packaged and reach out to Dave and say what he wants to do about that. Because, yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? It's kind of like the teething troubles of getting used to everything. But it seems to be nobody's fault other than perhaps mine in setting it up. And I've changed the settings on the video because I was looking back at one and it seemed a bit blurry. So I've changed it to 4K to see if that makes the videos any sharper from this point on. So if it does, now you know why. But chuffed to get an order from someone who's following the YouTube channel. So thanks again, Dave, for the purchase. Get these packed up and shipped out to you today. Enjoy the parts, enjoy the build. Be great to hear how it goes, or even see how it goes when it's built, because it is a great ship. So good stuff. So last night I was sorting through the that bag of new bits that I bought on Bricklink myself. It's a laborious task, it has to be said, as opposed to parting out new sets, and it's an eye-opener because given that the majority of those should have been new parts, and yeah, it was a big bag, but this is the pot of parts which just don't cut the mustard. Either there's a bit of discoloration, they're scuffed, there's scratches on them, or they look like they've been used to me, which is interesting because it kind of raises a question that somebody left a comment on one of the videos about kind of how you decide what's new and what is used and the quality of it. So I kind of thought I was going to try and do a video about that, and it's pretty difficult to do because you need like really up close camera and stuff like that. But kind of, for instance, this is a white brick that's supposed to be new. Now, if I got that, I'd be mighty peeved because it doesn't look new in any way, shape or form. And there was lots of other instances, like there was a whole load of these modified plates. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. If I get out of the light of it, go that way. Yeah, I don't think it's going to really focus, is it? Only just. I mean, it looks pretty good here, but when I was going through them last night and kind of tilting them into the light, yeah, it's not going to work. There was lots of scuffs on them, and as I say, it's kind of like, it's not what people are buying, it's not what people want, you know. The couple of times stuff has come up from a buyer that has been less than perfect, you know, I've just wanted to correct that straight away because I'm just wanting to sell new parts unless I've listed it as a used part, which is like printed parts, which are like these things, which I think were from like an old A-wing or something like that. But otherwise, we're just talking about new parts. There was one exception in that there was a whole load of curved slopes in this reddish brown, which were from Count Dooku's solar, whatever that set is, that I bought and got too many of them and got new ones and used ones. And I used the new ones on the build when I sold it. So I had all these new used ones, which are a little bit kind of scuffed on the sides, and it really shows up on that reddish brown for some reason. Similarly with these kind of tail plate, I don't know what you call them, wedges or whatever it is. They look lovely from a distance, but they are covered in kind of scuffs and scratches. Not sure it's really going to show it on here, but what to the naked eye, there's like a centimetre or so scratch on that, and the blue ones similarly just don't look crisp. So listing them as used, they're the only ones I've got, so that's pretty easy to like manage. Given that I don't have heaps of space, the shelves are rolled out because I was doing the picking for those orders. Because I don't have heaps of space to separate used and new parts, it's easy with minifigures because I put a big magenta sticker on the little plastic bag. But yeah, it's a tricky one. Things like the dark grey bricks, I have a separate drawer that all of those go in, but because that's just one colour, it's easier to manage like that. But other ones are a bit trickier. So yeah, it's an interesting thing to consider, knowing that there's crate after crate of parts which are built once and never used, sitting in the storage unit for ships and sets for Star Wars. Probably some minifigures in there still too, but maybe not so many. But it's kind of like there's going to be an awful lot of having to go through those brick by brick to figure out which ones meet a quality standard that I would be happy with and therefore confident in selling as a new part as opposed to used and scuffed, because you don't want people getting like a huff on when they get their parts. So yeah, that's that little ramble. Over on YouTube, kind of the 2024 set leaks video went out yesterday. That's gone quite well. Blog one's going, and the Yoda build video was scheduled to go up, and now Lego's released the Coruscant Republic fighter images, I believe. I've not checked them out yet. I saw something on what was called Twitter, but now is called whatever it is, this morning. So can check that out. Maybe that's something that I want to do a little video of. But there's plenty of other things I need to be getting on with today. As I said, I did a little bit of parting out, adding stuff to the store last night. where's the store? There it is. So that took us to 58,986 parts. So a little way to go on getting to the 60,000, given that I'm not here on Friday. So I'm going to have to get a wiggle on today to get things done. I've got a bit of a Facebook Marketplace deal that I'm going to get sorted this afternoon, which will hopefully give me some multiple sets that I could part out and get in pretty quickly. Some Ninjago and stuff like that, so it'll add a bit more variety. So hopefully I can get that done easily today, and then on to the next thing in amongst doing the actual day job, which is becoming quite an inconvenience, but it's a good problem to have. Okay, I'll check back in once I've got something to talk about. Wednesday late morning, almost afternoon, and just had another order come in, just a parts order, a lot of white parts and some other assorted bits. One of the parts is actually, following on from what I was just talking about, looking a bit shabby, so I'm going to refund them one part but send it anyway, just so they've got it. Maybe it won't make a massive difference to whatever they're building, but it's not good to me, so I'm going to get that sent off and packed up, and then added a few bits to the store, so creeping in the 60,000 parts, hopefully rattle that off after I've been and done my Facebook Marketplace deal in an hour or so. In the meantime, going to have a bit of a tidy up of the office and get ready for some work. So I'm just back from my Facebook Marketplace wheeling and dealing, and this, if I pull back, this is what I bought. It's quite a lot. It's going to take some time, but I got all of this for $400, which blows my mind, right? There are 8 Speed Champions, a couple of brand new Disney sets, creator sets, some Minecraft City, a couple of Ninjago, a Marvel. Yeah, some good stuff. And as I've said previously, trying to add some variety. So we've got Marvel kind of parts there. We've got Kai's Dragon Flip, whatever that is. Kind of comes with a figure, which would be good. We've got this one, which comes with a couple of figures as well. And we've got some Minecraft ones. I don't know whether those get classed as minifigures, but we'll find out, I guess. So 4 Minecraft sets. It's quite a good one. And then there's that one. But I figured good basic bricks, at the very least, kind of get that replenished. And then some city sets. So I had this one on my list of ones that I thought might be good to get because of the parts. Some different colours and stuff like that. Treasure chest, wheels, turtles, some things that I don't have, adding more variety. Then there's this, which is clearly an ice cream store, which is good, kind of with some window pieces and some different bits and pieces that I don't have, and minifigures, of course. Car wash set, I quite like that one, it's pretty cool. I like the little car wash fins, or whatever you'd call them. And up here we've got a couple of small city sets. Again, it's really the animals and the minifigures that I think they're going to do the business there. And up the top there's a princess. I don't know which princess. There's the purple one. My daughter would know. Then we've got Disney 100. Yeah, I can't imagine that one's going to do amazingly well, but I think it comes with a Mickey Mouse, which is pretty good. That'll be a good addition. And then some Disney Princess stuff, which I figured, I've had a couple of orders that have had that dark purple and the dark pink orders, so can't hurt. And then over this side, we've got the Disney train, which, again, this is brand new, eh? Good set of minifigures in that one. We've got a Moana set, which I'm going to guess comes with Moana. and again, just good colour parts. We've got a Frozen set here, which has got some like mini figures, you know, like those little torsos. Three creator sets, again, good parts. They'll kind of do the business. Not multiples of these, but kind of at $400, I wasn't going to knock it back, for some Friends, I think this is the new Friends stuff. So that's kind of new. And then 8 Speed Champions, all different. We've already parted out the Ferrari one. I haven't parted out. And the Fast and the Furious one. I've still got that. Pagani Utopia to part out. And did I part out that Dodge Charger? I can't remember if I did or not. Anyway, so there we are. Kind of a gigantic haul of boxes, which I now have to find somewhere to keep. But $400. So don't know. It was a great deal. You've heard me talk about trying to add some variety to the store, so it's not so Star Wars centric, just to try and bring in some different orders. So hopefully, kind of into next week, when I manage to get into all of this, these will help kind of bringing in some different kinds of orders that might attract some new kind of buyers. Not that I don't have enough buyers already. I'm very happy with where we're at, but it's kind of trial and error, really. See which of these kind of lines lead to more sales, whether it's Minecraft, whether it's Ninjago, whether it's Friends, or whether it's kind of the Disney stuff. We'll see kind of what brings in some new purchases. So yeah, not bad. It's Thursday afternoon, 3rd of August, and the afternoon is fast closing in on me, and I've got to go and catch a flight this evening. So I've just run out of time to try and get to that 60,000 this week. So we're going to have to settle with a little bit short of it. I could cheat and just say I've done a part out and just add a set to the site, but it wouldn't really be in the spirit of what we're doing here. So this week's a short one because of me travelling to New Zealand. So unfortunately, not getting that stuff done because I kept doing videos, to be honest. But the new one, the Coruscant gunship, has gone off 1,000 views, and it's kind of jumped up the followers to 254, which is good. Lots of comments as well, which is nice. Enjoying that a lot, actually. Gonna do a couple more reviews next week, and I guess there'll be no more big leaks, I would imagine. I'm gonna do these two next week in terms of builds. I'm going to do a bigger one. I'm going to do that Yavin base, and I'm going to do the spider droid. Is that what it's called? Spider tank. Just so we can have a look at that Bo-Katan Kryze minifigure, because it's pretty cool, And the Yavin base will be a bit of a longer build, which will be good. Yesterday I didn't film it, but the battery came for the Mace Windu minifigure, and he's back working, which is amazing. And given that he's in just fantastic condition, like his cape's in fantastic shape as well. It's one of those rigid ones, so it's not kind of soft and fluffy. I was checking out kind of his value. There's none available in Australia, and only 3 new condition in the world, which are hugely expensive. There are some used ones, but they tend to be broken, so they don't work, they're missing stuff, the hilt's broken, the cape's frayed, dings or scratches. So I don't think he really fits the bill in terms of that. So I'm thinking he's more of a new condition, which might be a bit of a stretch, but yeah, like that one's got, there's a new one being added there just overnight. New crack on the side of the lightsaber hilt at the top, Come on, he's in better condition than that. That's 177. So yeah, so I looked at the set and the other minifigures in the set, which is the 2005 turbo tank, which the minifigures are pretty much the stuff that's missing. Obviously the set is the set, and I could rebuild that. The minifigures are, using proper grammar, an interesting lineup. There's a B1 battle droid, which is fine, but there is this clone jet trooper, never seen one of those before. A normal phase 2 trooper, that's easy done. The 327th Star Corps phase 2 trooper, a little bit rare but not too bad, can kind of pick him up for around the 45 mark. That Imperial Scout Trooper Kashyyyk, that's an expensive one, non-available in Australia, only a couple around the world, and we're talking 100 plus, 145 I think for that one. Mace Windu we've got, obviously he's the rare catch there. So it's a bit of a decision really, whether to go after these two are the expensive ones, whether to go after them to complete the set and sell the set and the figures as a whole, or to break it down and sell the figures but still build the set for just the fun of building the set really. Parts wise, it's not very many, it's only 767 parts. It goes for about $600, let's say $600 kind of Australian used, of which you are pretty much talking more than half of that is the minifigures, and more than half of that is one minifigure in particular. So you can't really see any detail on that. Like one went for 810, so you've got to assume that was a pretty full bag. So don't know, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think we should do? Should we just go with Mace on his own and list him, or should we try and get the other ones and get it all together and see if we can get top dollar for it all together, or just try and sell the turbo tank on its own? Kind of one thought I had was kind of sell Mace Windu on his own, build the turbo tank, and then give it away to followers on the YouTube channel in some kind of competition. That might be a bit of a good promotion sort of thing for the people following and commenting really. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Now, overnight, it was a stormy night, but it certainly wasn't that windy indoors for a clatter and bang that woke me up at 1:30, which was the downfall of my DIY. And the keen-eyed amongst you will realise that that shelf is the shelf that had the buildable Bad Batch figures on, and this is what remains of those poor little souls. They're in a sorry state. Crosshair, ironically, is the only head that really survived the impact. In Darth, look at that brickhead, Darth Vader, absolutely minced on the way down. So that's going to take a little bit of rebuilding next week when I've got a bit more time and I'm back from New Zealand. Speaking of which, I'm hoping I can pick up some sets while I'm over there and add a bit more to this blog, but if not, I'll leave it there. Hope you've enjoyed this week's blog. If there's a little bit more, it's bonus. If not, I'll catch you again. So here I am in the Lego store in Auckland, just checking out what they've got, kind of comparing where we are. They've obviously got UCS sets. They've got the dioramas, including the trench run, which I haven't seen for a while. TIE Bomber, that one kind of pretty common. They had the new mechs. They still had the AT-TE Walker, but they've mixed it up with the Avatar, which actually they've done here in Perth as well. They've kind of mixed those two shelves up at the moment. They had the Spider, the Yavin, the Fang Fighter Duo, and the UCS Falcon. A few places have got that still. And some Boba Fett's Palace, which and lots of Captain Rex helmets as well, which I was quite surprised at, because those again have been pretty tough to find. It's Friday, it's 9:45 in the morning, New Zealand time, so it's 6:45, 5:45? Yeah, 5:45 Perth time. Got off a flight a couple of hours ago. Already had 2 coffees to try and wake me up. It's that kind of morning. And straight from the airport to kill some time to the Lego store, as you just saw. I forgot to take my headphones in, so I couldn't speak about it, but I'll have done a voiceover kind of saying the kind of stuff that they had in, which was interesting. And as you do, picked up a couple of things. I wanted to get another one of the Boba Fett mechs, so I could do a video review of that one and have one for my collection. And they had 2 of these still in stock, and I thought, why not get that for the minifigures for the store? So yeah, I mean, they had a few of them still in stock. They didn't have an awful lot actually, and their pick a brick wall was absolutely shocking. Like, it was rubbish. That was the worst one I've ever seen. But I did take my Lego passport and got Newmarket added to that. That is pretty cool. What is it upside down? It's just a little minifigure dangling in the clouds. Don't know. Lego certified store. Yeah. They got a bit grumpy because their stamp of that one isn't as big as that. Who knew there would be different ones of the same stamps? I've never actually looked at the other ones. So carrying up looks like that. Okay. And Buragoon looks like that. And there you go. Anyway, all good fun. I've got the kids some of these passports, so we might make another trip to the Lego store with them over the weekend, which might be good fun for them to kind of start their little passport journey. So I've got a few hours to kind of kill before I can get in the hotel and get some sleep. Didn't get much on the plane, so coffee will see me through for now. But I'm going to head up the main motorway here from Auckland to the North Shore. There's a toy world, and what else is there up there? Yeah, there's a big toy world on the way, so I might pop in there and see what they've got in case they've got any good sets. And there's a warehouse and there's a Kmart as well, just in case there's any deals on. So killing some time. Next up, I went to Toy World, which is a smaller store that I used to go to an awful lot to buy sets. They always have a good range, but their prices this time were off the scale, like $36.99 for that battle pack. Incredible. They had most of the new sets, the smaller sets on sale, but all of them high prices. But as a store, Aladdin's cave of older sets, from the Chevrolet truck, the A-frame. They had the scooter, all the botanicals, the Mick Jagger tongue thing, the Rolling Stones thing. The lighthouse, yeah, all of these older sets that you very rarely see anywhere else. So I'm in Farmers, which is a department store, a bit like a David Jones, but not really. A bit more like a glorified Kmart, but they have great deals. So they've got a buy 2 sets, get 15% off, which is pretty good. 15% discount on 2 sets. So interesting to see what prices people have got. Where is the new battle pack? That's the old one, isn't it? 34 for that. How much are they charging for the mechs? $25.99 for the mechs. But we've got the Boba Fett Starship. They've got a lot of Harry Potter. They've got a heap of Speed Champions still. A lot of that. But pretty much the recent ones. A whole bunch of Minecraft over there. Lots and lots of that kind of stuff. A lot of Friends. This is the interesting one. We've got all the helmets. And they got some dioramas. They've got the Winnie the Pooh set. Got 179 New Zealand, but its part out value is twice that in Australian dollars. So that's quite a good bargain at 15% off. I wonder if I should get a couple of those. Those Indiana Jones minifigures go really well as well. we've got the Land Rover. I haven't seen that in the Lego store for a while. And then around this side they've got the boutique hotel and some other bits and pieces, but you know, coat hangers getting bashed around. 15% of these brand new idea sets, icon sets, which is pretty good. So I might pick up something while I'm here. It is Friday afternoon and I'm in an apartment in New Zealand. I picked up a couple of those Winnie the Pooh sets. Also had a Boba Fett's throne room, I think it's called, isn't it? Set in the storage unit that I have here that I'd forgotten all about. So I'm going to take that back with me as well. And obviously the mech and the Hoth battle pack that I picked up in the Lego store. So other than that, it's really just been sorting out some of the Bricklink orders that I've placed for parts for the store and checking on things online. So yeah, the Coruscant Guard ship even is going really well. 1,800 views. That's really gone, like when you consider the Yoda videos, like just 80. Amazing. What is interesting is it hasn't had the same kind of spike in subscribers. That's just kind of steadily crept up one at a time. There's been a good few comments. People generally a bit kind of not happy about the minifigure lineup, the scale, things like that, which I think I pretty much covered in the video. So I must have got it right. But 262 subscribers. What I did figure out is there's like a couple of I didn't figure it out, it's kind of in the back end of this. There's two criteria that you have to meet. You have to get to 1,000 subscribers, but you also have to have 10,000 hours of viewing, and at the moment they're both tracking at about a quarter of the way, so that's pretty good. So 1 month, a quarter of the way, so that's August, September, October, November, December. So by the end of the year, at this rate, we might get to 1,000 subscribers. What a Christmas present that would be. Obviously, I am away from the store. There's been one order, which is a pretty cool order, actually, given that the other day I listed all of those instructions, and this buyer has actually purchased 4. So the Desert Skiff, the Hoth Medical Chamber, Kanan's Speeder Bike, and the Phantom. So a couple of Rebels ones, and then a couple of kind of more original stuff, and then a whole bunch of parts. Obviously the syringe must be for the medical chamber, I would say. And then down the bottom here, medical droid, a clone, a rebel trooper, an Anakin, a Luke Skywalker, which is a pretty old school one, I think, that one, isn't it? Judging by the serial number, and an Endor outfit Leia as well. So yeah, it's a pretty good order. And those wagon, I didn't realise they were called wheel or wagon and Viking, which just makes me think of wagon wheels. It makes me a bit hungry. But those are gone, which is good. Kind of so I've added them to my kind of inventory building list and see if I can't get some of them purchased. So yeah, ending with an order, which is a good way to go. Happy with that. Obviously, I'm not at home, so I can't actually deal with it now. But there's another one there. Oh, look at that! That one's just come in. Same guy. There you go. Cool. All right. Easy. Just add those to the same order. That's cool. It's not going to change the shipping at all, to be honest. That's all good. Brilliant. That was like watching it live, wasn't it? Cool stuff. Okay. Well, that's probably me. Maybe some little bits and pieces that I might film over the weekend, depending what happens. But otherwise, looking forward to uploading this, seeing what the difference using the 4K 60 frames per second does to the quality of these videos, and seeing if that improves things. But otherwise, thanks for following along this week, and here's to next.